for a living is try a case.
Yes, ma'am.
And from the time you were hired, that's what you were preparing to do.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm trying to understand if the pretrial publicity impacted that part, which is the real part of being a lawyer. Did that impact you at all in that part of your job?
Well, absolutely. And the reason is because the real part of my job as a lawyer is trying to make sure my client, when he is not guilty and he is demonstrably innocent, isn't even tried in the first place. It's not so everybody can have their day in court, because you shouldn't have to have a day in court as a criminal defendant if you are innocent and there's not proof to prove you're guilty. And so every step we made to defend these young men, we did with the goal of getting this over with for them as soon as we could possibly get it over. And some of that involved the pretrial statements and what we said publicly. And there's language in all over the place. And the preeminent case about this from the United States Supreme Court is Gentile versus Nevada, where Justice Kennedy says a lawyer's duties don't start in the courtroom door. He has a duty, or she has a duty, to protect his client or her client in the court of public opinion, and to do whatever he or she can ethically do to make sure that a wrongful indictment and prosecution doesn't happen.
Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. But what you did in terms of preparation for trial really was in regard to things that you did outside of the courtroom.
We were preparing for a trial inside the courtroom as well.
But that preparation really wasn't affected, other than the time you took away from it, by the pretrial publicity.
Well, it was affected in the sense that we knew potentially our jury pool was coming from Durham, which was ground zero for all of these communications by their district attorney.
Okay. And I have not tried a criminal case in a very long time, and I certainly haven't tried one in Durham County.
Good for you.
Yeah. Is there
that last for long.
No, I meant about the criminal case.
Is there a process is there a scheduling order that's issued at any point in a criminal case?
There was, and I was unfamiliar with the Durham case management system, but there's sort of a system in Durham that Judge Hudson has, I think, where it goes through phases, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And each one of those phases has to do with how far along you've gotten in the process and, with discovery. But there had not been like a scheduling order wherein a trial date had been set.
So you had no target time for trial of this case?
There was no. I mean, I think that the earliest we had talked about going to trial in this case was somewhere around, in conversations we had about it, March or April would be the earliest. That this case would have gone to trial, maybe May, June, but okay. March or April were the first months we started talking about.
Thank you.